up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren, along with his fellow podcast brothers, Dorian, the D.A. Alberton, James, the Angry One Warren, Mike Mills, and Darrell, D-Dub Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans. This is a sports podcast with no hot takes, no narratives, just real, unadulterated sports talk. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel. Sports Chasers Podcast. We can be found on all podcast platforms, plus all social media platforms by searching Sports Chasers Podcast. All information is in our bio. Please be advised, at times there may be some explicit and colorful language. We are the defenders of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin L. Warren!
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to the Sports Chasers Podcast. Hey, it's Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator here on another Thursday night to talk 90 minutes about sports. All what's going on in the sports world. We have a lot to get into, jump into. With that said, hey, let's meet the crew here tonight. Hey, we got my man D-Dub. D-Dub, what's good, man? What's happening, brother? How are you?
What's good? Tuesday. Well, no, I'm about to say Tuesday night. Thursday night.
Sir, it's Thursday.
Sorry, man. Working. Yo, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good to go. We got Dan, the hockey dude. Dan, what's good, brother? How are you?
Doing good. How's everybody doing?
Good. Dan, what's that little logo on your shirt? I can't see it. What is it, rabbit?
Ghost.
Oh, that's right, Ghost. Okay, yeah. All right, we get Ghost endorsed.
It's
Ghost.
the Warriors, like veterans. It's like red, white, and blue. Accented Ghost emblem.
Gotcha. DA, what's up, brother? How are you, sir? What's happening?
Man. We back.
We back, man.
Yeah, we was gone and now we back.
We're gonna cover Major League Baseball Free Agency. We're gonna cover. Dan has hockey with him. Not me tonight. Dan. He said I did an outstanding job. By the way, I'll let him tell you here in a few minutes. We'll continue to cover the Deion Sanders fallout from him leaving Jackson State and accepting the job at the University of Colorado. We'll also talk about the World Cup with Dorian. NFL Week 14 will be here with us. And what else? I lost my notes here. I'm sorry. NFL Week 14. Hey, Daniel Snyder, he's doing other things. We'll talk about that. And that's it. Hey, we got the Angry One. Angry One is here. Angry One, what's good, brother? How are you, sir?
Mic check is staying on.
Microphone check 1 2 3. We can hear you. We just need you to go up just a little bit, just a little bit, and we can hear you, bro.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you loud and clear. You are loud and clear.
Okay.
In my line of work, you are 5'5", sir.
Cool.
We can hear you, man. We can hear you.
How y'all doing?
So, with that said, man, let's jump right into it. Major League Baseball. Two things about Major League Baseball. We'll talk about free agency, and real quick, there's something going on with. Well, we'll jump to that real quick. Hey, on Tuesday, it was Tuesday, I believe. Was it Tuesday? Yeah. It was Tuesday. Aaron Judge is staying in the Bronx, according to Yahoo Sports. The superstar slugger and reigning American League MVP is reportedly resigning with the New York Yankees on a 9-year, $360 million deal, according to multiple reports. Losing Judge with him coming off a magical 62 homer season after he declined an extension offer would have been a major blow to the Yankees. Continue on pursuit of their first World Series since 2009 and the team's sheen of superiority. The biggest prize of the winner's free agent crowd. Judge is coming off a performance whose superlatives transcend the individual season. Beyond the 62 homers, his 2022 featured a 311 batting average and an MLB best .425 on base percentage. Put it all together, and his 211 park adjusted OPS plus, meaning he has 111% better than the league average hitter, was the best by any qualified hitter in a full season since DA's cousin, Barry Lamont Bonds. And since we said that, I'll start with the DA. What you think about the signing of Aaron Judge, sir?
I think it was the right move. It was the best move for the Yankees to make. They'll make back the money that they're spending in a year or two, maybe 3. I don't listen, man. This is where we're at, and this is the type of team. This is their business model. I'm not saying it's the correct business model, but it is theirs. And I think since I walk with me here, fellas, right? Because y'all my dudes. I just got my PS5, right? So now they got these games, these nerd games, where they got the world building, right? So it's not just the character, it's the characters around the characters, right? And I always go back to in sports, man. It's the team, it's the scouts. You need that to have a good team. So even if you're paying Judge X amount of dollars for 9 years, right? He's not going to play that long, maybe, and he's not going to be, for sure, not going to be that good for 9 years. But for 3 years, between him and some rookies or some guys in the farm that come up, that's supposed to sustain that team to World Series. If you look at the good teams out here that do it, that's how they do it, right? So you have Freddie Freeman with Atlanta. He was the big star. They had a bunch of young pups underneath him. Boom, here we go. Mookie Betts with Boston. Now they had to make a decision between him and JD. They made their decision. But this is what you do, because the reality is, there is no salary cap in baseball, so we can just throw all that out the window, because it does not exist. And 2, if it's $80, $90 for each person going into that stadium, maybe packing out 3/4 of the game over a season, yeah, you'll make back that $100 million, $200-300 million easy. And that's what it's about, man. This is, again, people think it's about owners winning championships. It's about owners winning the accounting ledger. That's what the win is. The win is in the profit and loss, right? And
so the Yankees did not look at Albert Pujols.
They did make their money. I'm pretty sure in the first few years of old Albert being out there in Los Angeles, when people thought that old Albert could still play, those first 2 or 3 years, he probably packed it out, right? Because we had him and Trout. Wow! Now nothing happened to the fan. Something happened to the owners, right? You got the money back. That's all. That's any investment is about getting your money back, or at least a portion of it that matters to you. I understand as a fan, and I sometimes, I told Kevin the other day, sometimes I feel bad calling myself a sports fan, because sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I just analyze what I see, because that's what I do for a living. And from what I'm seeing, would you let the dude go and lose and not pack the stadium out? Because this isn't like the Knicks where you're inside. It's the summer, you're outside. If the Yankees are not good, people are not coming. Period. So, that being said, would you rather not be good and not make your money? You got to think of it from the board side sometime, and that's what I'm starting to do. And yeah, I understand as a fan what it is, and I understand what people are saying, but it is what it is, man. I'm not going to change the way I'm thinking because I'm getting older. And when I was a younger man, I thought of it like just a fan. And now I'm an older man, and I think of it from both sides of the coin. So I don't think it's a bad move. I think he'll be good for another 4 years. It's up to the Yankees to put a crew around him to win a World Series within the next 2 years. It's not up to him because he can't recruit the players. So that's my judge thoughts.
I'll go with Eric. Eric, you was making faces, funny faces. I don't know if you was making that DA.
Nah. I mean, I agree with everything DA said. I just don't like it. I told y'all, I emphatically said on this a couple of months ago, trade him. He was hot. Trade him. Everybody looked at me like, bro, is you crazy? Yeah, I've been called that before. But my thing is this. Yes, it's a Yankee move, so I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just looking at it as not as a fan, but not as a Yankee fan, but as a baseball fan, right? So you lock this guy up for however many years. Okay, fine. You pay him all this money. Okay, fine. My thing was you could have easily used that money to fill up these other holes that the Yankees have. And if you don't think that the Yankees have other holes, then you got another thing coming. I'm just and DA, we have group chats, whatever, and DA says something that made sense, of course, is that it's up to the Yankees organization, outs and this and that, the third. My thing is, I don't have a lot of confidence in their scouts because what have they given us all these years? I mean, if there was anybody good, they traded them all for us to bring somebody else in here. That was a big star. That was a big draw. So I get it. It's a Yankee move. I'm not mad at it as a Yankee fan per se because he did do his thing last year. Salute to Aaron Judge. My thing is, I'm in the field of productivity matching your dollars, and no, I'm not pocket watching. I'm production watching. And from what I see with a lot of players, is that the production doesn't match the contract. That's all. That's the only standpoint that I get it. They try to make their money back. I get it from my owner side. I get it from the fan side. I'm just giving it to y'all from my side. Would I have done it? No. Do I like it? No, but I understand it.
Thank you, E. We'll go with Dan. Dan, who usually gives us players, the Pirates. But go ahead, Dan.
We're going to need you this summer.
Hey, that's why before we got on, I was saying, hey, man, we got the number 1 draft in July. You tell us who you want. We'll develop them. We'll give them to you for next to nothing. Just send us an email. But on behalf of the Pittsburgh Pirates fan club, I'd like to say thank you, the Yankees, for paying him $360 million because that's going to mean more money for our owner's pocket in luxury tax. That's awesome. But, like I said, 9 years, man. He can be 39 years old making all that cash. I don't know, man. Kind of with you look and see like what the Marlins did and some of these other teams that don't have this type of money. And you could trade this dude and get 5-6 people.
Easy.
And rebuild your team to be good, not just for the next 3 or 4 years that he's probably going to keep the same type of career trajectory. But once he starts falling off, then what? You're still paying him all that money.
I agree, Dan, but only if you got people in your organization that are smart enough to make the right move. Well, so in the last 10 years, they haven't been good at it then. What makes you think they'll be good today?
True, but that's where you need to vet and reevaluate who you have as scouts and maybe revamp your scouting and maybe even some of your, lower like AAA, AA teams get coaches that can actually coach these guys and make them better or get them better, give them the tools.
Does that mean development? Is that what that? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Shit, send them to us. We'll develop them and give them right back.
Y'all can't afford them. We got to get them from y'all first. That's how it works. We can't.
Wait. See, here's what you need to do. You need to partnership up with our AAA and AA teams. That way they can put both players together. Then you could use our coaches to get them better, and you don't have to pay somebody to do it. We'll do it for you. Kind of just think of it as, we'll scratch your back after you give us that luxury tax.
I like that idea, Dan. I'll make a call.
Make a call. D-Dub, I'm going to give it to D-Dub, who's been also making funny faces. D-Dub, what seems to be the matter? It sounds like, something my mama would ask. What's
Yo, we have had these talks earlier this week. I'm just not feeling it. I told DA I was not feeling this. I told him that there's no way. 30, he's 30 years old, 9-year deal. Again, we've seen this story before, and I'm going to point directly to Albert Pujols. There's countless others. There's a couple other people too. When you pay them this big amount of money, they don't. After they get the bag, we'll be lucky to get. I think D, you said 3 more seasons. You'll be lucky. We'll be lucky if we get 3 more seasons of him popping out 40, 45 plus home runs or more. If he doesn't do that, then this is just bad all the way around. I think, according like what Dan E said, we could have used that money and went. I mean, the Yankees spend money. We know that, but there's other positions, other places that we could have spent this money to get a quality team. And I think now what DA says about the spending the money, about the owners spend money to pack out the seats, I get it. But what happens if this guy, we pay him $100 million and we don't produce and we don't perform? Then we're gonna have the problem. You're gonna be still stuck with the same problem now with a 9-year problem.
Well, the reality is people will still come to the stadium because they still want to see him. That's what it is.
I don't think so, D.
No, I know so. They come for stars.
Good,
the
but he's not.
He's the only one we got, D. He's the only one we
exactly.
got.
Exactly. If we ain't winning, then what we doing?
I will go 2 years ago in point. The Yankees were hot garbage. And Kevin, did they pack out every night game? Did you see? Hot garbage.
Word.
Stink. Hot. Summertime Brooklyn garbage. And people were there. They go. It's an event. It's an event. It's an event. And just, I love you guys, and I agree with you to your points. But if the Yankees were good at getting talent, what makes you think if they traded him for 5 guys, they would trade for the 5 right guys?
That's what it is. That's the trade.
So
that's
then you
the
got
gamble.
5 guys that can't play.
Well, then you got one guy who strikes out 175 times.
Yeah, but he hit 62 home runs.
That was 1 year.
One time, D.
Yeah, but hey, all we can go off of is what we see, right?
Now you Deion Sanders
right?
me.
No,
now
but I'm saying all we can go off of.
Now you selling me hope. Now you selling me hope, D. You selling me hope. Stop.
No, listen. I don't have to sell anything because it's not my team. No. I'm just saying that the point I'm making to you is there are people that are casual fans of baseball that will see this guy hit 62 for 1 year and think he's going to hit 62 for the next 3 years. That's all I'm saying. I know he won't. I know he won't be that good in 3 years.
Yeah, you know he won't.
But I'm going to still sell it to you if you're going to buy it.
There you go.
I'm still going to sell it to you if I'm the owner, if you're going to buy it. That's my job.
You forgot your stance. What was you going to say when you
vote with your dollars?
There you go.
Oh, they're not.
The second coming at A-Rod.
Y'all can put that in the garbage. That ain't gonna happen.
Yes, Dan. Yo, but to my point, no, I wouldn't have done it if this was my team. But I understand D and the rest of the guys. I listen again. I've seen this movie before, and it ends up bad. You end up with an old man in the seat, and he's getting paper. And I'm not mad, but if the team suffers at the end. And then we're going when he's 40, we're going to be trying to parade him around like he's the Aaron Judge. I mean, I'm looking at it from that perspective. I get what you're saying, D, packing the seats. I get it. These people going to come regardless. But I wouldn't if I was the owner, I'm not giving this guy 9 years, 10 years, $400 million. I'm not doing it. Don't make sense to me. Now, if he was Juan Soto at 25, yes, absolutely, give him the money. Not now.
Go ahead, E. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, E.
I was going to say, but if we look at let's look at the game of baseball, right? We're at least I try to be at least a bit of a historian. The Juan Sotos, and I say it this way to say that because Tatis is another one, maybe 1 or 2 others that came in that young and got to their first contract at that age. And were that good to get that kind of money, right? So people got mad at Bryce, right? So people are always going to complain whenever it happens. So let's just understand that first and foremost, right? So it happened to Trout, it happened to Bryce, right? Soto, Acuna at his first one now getting big paper. and maybe 3 or 4 more guys, right? So it doesn't happen a lot where they came in at 18 and get to that first 5 and they're 23 and 24 and get to that next big contract that early. It really doesn't happen a lot because of the minor league system. Most time guys don't get up till they're 22, 23. So it turns into like, when you look at the Judge age, and I understand, don't get me wrong, but this is how it turns into, because you don't get up to the majors till you're 22, then you got 5 years on that contract, and if you do real good, then you're 27, or 29 in this case, and 10 years and 9, whatever the crap is. I wouldn't sign you for that long either, right? From a baseball perspective, physically, what you can do. It just, you go, unless you're Barry Bonds, you get worse, right? Unless you're Barry Bonds, you know. But I will let it go to say this, man. I agree with you guys, but just know that in baseball, in the coming 4 years, you're going to see a lot more of this, right? Because San Diego was going to give the money to do it, B. And they weren't going to give the money to him because he was going to be good for 9 years. They're going to give the money to him because he's going to pack out that damn stadium with that crew for the next 11 years.
I think San Diego offered him more, right? San Diego
Yes.
$400 something million.
Yes. So dudes is trying to get the long game money, right? Because like I say, everybody believes that the owners want to win chips. No, they don't. And all fans need to understand it. They don't.
Yeah. Let me jump in here because we gotta go on to the next thing here. I agree. I'm more inclined to agree with D. I think it's a lot of years, but I knew the Yankees was going to do it because that's what they do, and they did it. They have no remorse about it. They didn't want their star to get away, who just had a monster year where he broke the American League record for home runs, and Judge bet on himself, and the Yankees paid, and so there it is. Yeah, it's going to wind up. I think Dan said like A-Rod. Yeah, that's because it just never works out. These long contracts never work out there. But again, we are never mad at the player getting money because they're paying. But D, I absolutely understand what you're saying from a financial aspect. Yeah, had he came to play in San Diego, I've been to Petco Park. It's a beautiful park out there in San Diego. Yeah, they would have had 50 some odd thousand out there in the center town of San Diego for Aaron Judge, but he goes back to the Yankees, and we'll see. We'll see if the Yankees can build around Judge, get some hitting, get some guys that can hit. Just go the other way. Hitting coach, things of that nature. Baseball, in my opinion, because it's my opinion, has gained way too much with the launch angles and analytics and all that stuff, and nobody hits the other way, to the fact that they had to change the rule. It's coming up next year. They're changing the rule where, hey, there's no shift. So the shift is basically illegal defense, like in basketball, which we all know in basketball they don't do no more. What they don't? That's called
defense.
Don't even get me started, Dan. So they allow, you can't even do that no more. So it is what it is when it comes to that. Other notable signings here I saw today where the Red Sox, Xander Bogaerts, he received a $280 million deal from the Padres, the aforementioned Padres, 11 years. The Red Sox signed Japanese outfitter Matsusaka Yoshida to a 5-year, $90 million deal. He was one of those pitchers that was out there from Japan. The Cubs, longtime catcher Wilson Contreras, he signed a 5-year deal to go to the rival Cardinals. And the Red Sox signed former LA Dodger Kelly Jensen 2-year deal, $32 million. I think there was some other news. My man from the Phillies, what's his name here again? He Trey just Turner. Got a monster. Trey Turner got the bag. Trey Turner, how much Trey Turner got here? Trey Turner, real quick. The Phillies 2020 payroll is already projected north of $241 million. Wow, that's well,
Trey Turner, 11 years,
many
$300 million.
dollars. Thank you, E.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. He got the bag. Yo, it's hot stove leaf
Where
for
did
baseball.
the Phillies get all this money from? Never mind. None of my.
D, you're gonna get fined $5 in
No
the
cap.
cage.
There's no cap. There's no cap. No cap. No cap. That's what young kids say. No cap. Ain't no cap, yo. Yeah, ain't no cap. No sound.
So yes, for all the casual folks here, that with baseball, unlike the NFL, which has a hard cap, and the NBA that has a do whatever you want soft cap. Yes, there's no cap in baseball. It's they do pay some kind of luxury tax if they go over a certain threshold, and the money goes to poor teams like Dan's team, the Pirates.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
The Yankees still got Josh Donaldson?
I don't know. Somebody looked that up real quick for me. I'm not sure.
I think they do. Now that's one person that they need to get rid of, unload quickly in a hurry.
That's what I'm saying.
He got the bag and did nothing. Absolutely nothing in the playoffs. So, again, bad business decisions. The Yankees signed back Cashman. So I don't know what's going to change. So,
hey,
Yankee fans.
Let me read this story real quick. Also with baseball, we probably need to go back and revisit, but just to put it out there, this is from Yahoo Sports. Chris Quick from Yahoo Sports. He says it wouldn't be an MLB offseason without a baseball-related scandal, despite Commissioner Rob Manfred's insisting that one baseball will be used during the 2022 season. There's more evidence that 3 different baseballs were utilized, according to Bradford William Davis of The Insider. That conclusion comes courtesy of Dr. Meredith Willis, an astrophysicist who has conducted various studies on MLB baseballs. The past couple of years, Dr. Willis managed to collect a sample of 204 baseballs from the 2022 MLB season and determined that 3 types of balls were used in games. The dead ball, MLB promised it will be used, the juice balls that were used in previous seasons, and a third ball that split the difference. Dr. Willis dubbed the third ball the Goldilocks ball, given that its measurement were between those of the juice balls and the dead balls. Every ball obtained by Dr. Willis met MLB's manufacturing specifications. Those specifications had came under scrutiny, however, as some have argued that the acceptable range for a legal baseball is too large and could result in legal baseballs that are very wily in performance. And they go on to say that some of these balls, when Judge was in pursuit of the American League record, those balls were used. Here we go again.
MLB.
Here we go.
I do have something to say to Mad Dog Russo. Fuck you. All right?
Whoa.
There you go. Nah, you hit me with that. Oh, he's the real champ. All right, okay. Until we find out that the balls were too small, right? And now we back to Barry Bonds and my man. I don't understand English and Mark McGwire anymore. Nah, right? This is where we going now, right? This morning you telling me that Barry cheated. Okay, you can say that. Well, now we can say we can say that Judge cheated, right? That's what we can say now, right? Let history tell the story. What I don't do is just shut the fuck up until it's over. And stop putting their feet in their mouths. Idiots.
Kind of hard to follow that up, maybe with a prayer, but
Sorry, Ma. Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We have very strong opinions here. Baseball again. They got an astrophysics up there collecting balls, and baseball's out here, doing whatever they're doing and causing some, reasonable doubt? Why? E, you got a funny face.
I don't even know. Yo, man. It's spooky out here. I said it
Spooky out here.
It's spooky out. It's spooky outside. And the stuff that comes out, whether it's true or not, it does not shock me anymore. I'm past the point where I can't believe they would do such a thing. I'm way past that, bro. So if it is, if it ain't, I'm numb to all of this stuff. B. As when we get to a particular sport, yeah, but yeah. I don't. Yeah.
We have named the name of this episode. It's spooky outside. It's spooky outside. D-Dub, you got something before we go into Dan with hockey?
No, I'm with E, man. Nothing surprises me no more with this, man. This game, everybody's game, or you know what I'm saying. There's always something, some type of controversy, some type of drama.
Dirt.
You know, some type of dirt. I mean, what was wrong with the balls and that you can't just leave them alone?
But you're the same guy that says Santa Claus is not real.
Yeah, well, I've been proven right. I mean, yes, that's correct. It's not. Yeah. Well,
Dan,
but
I
just don't understand.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. What was we messing with the balls for in the first place? You know.
Oh, you know why? With them balls.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, it's MLB. It's something that they got.
Take it away.
Yeah.
Nah, I got it. Dan, the hockey dude, he's up next. Dan, you have an opinion about the baseballs, whatever, before you go to hockey? Sorry.
No, because my team can't seem to hit them, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not going to say a fucking word.
They could be beach balls.
Dan is on with hockey. Dan is talking hockey. Go ahead, Dan.
All right, so we're about almost a third away into the season.
Yes, December.
So this is kind of, I guess, the make it break it point of the season. The teams that are struggling, you know, are they going to make the playoffs? Because you got some teams that are just lighting it up. And what's funny is I was looking to see like the power rankings that each site has. So you had like the hockey writers, you had the NHL site, you had what was the other one? CBS. And the more I looked at these things, I just was like, man, I don't know what people are smoking, but to me, I'm just going to give my power rankings off of like probably the top 8, because after that, it's kind of like a hodgepodge of teams. But like Boston, Jersey, and New Jersey, they're killing it.
Oh, they're killing it. Yes,
no, they're killing it. This is how scary these two teams are. Like they both play. Like Boston's played 25. Jersey, we played 26. Boston finally lost a home game.
I was about to say that. Yes, they lost a home game.
They won like 13 or 14 straight. But the goal differential between these two teams, Boston has scored 100 goals and only given up 53. Jersey scored 96 and only given up 57. And that's crazy. And the leading team in the West, Vegas, they only have a 19 goal differential, 95 and 76. And then Winnipeg's next was 79 and 61. But they're like the only two. Well, Dallas is pretty good, 98 and 76, plus 22. But those, I would say, Boston, Jersey, Vegas, probably Toronto, Winnipeg, Seattle, and Dallas. And then I would toss it up between Carolina and the Penguins, because Carolina is struggling at the moment. They went 4-1-5 the last 10, where the Pens won 8-1-1. So they kind of righted the ship after their 7-game losing streak, and are starting to play way better hockey. Good news is Chris Letang resumed practice after 10 days after his stroke.
His stroke, correct? Yes.
Yeah, so not sure when he's going to be back in the lineup, but it's good to see that they cleared him enough to practice. But yeah, like Boston, Jersey, and Pittsburgh all won 8-1-1 in the last 10 games. And then Toronto went 7-0-3. Winnipeg went 7-3-0. And Seattle went 7-2-1. Like, Seattle surprised me. They're playing really well. They're like third in that division.
What's doing it for Seattle? Why the turnaround there? What's going on with them?
Well, like I said, you won't see another Vegas expansion draft. So they took players to kind of mold out their team. They had some injuries last year, and the goaltending struggled a bit. But then they started making moves at the trade deadline, moving Giordano, getting some picks. I don't know. There's like what really changed is they got Matty Beniers in the draft, and that kid's been on fire. I think I had because when I was texting you last night about the Buffalo Columbus game, they had a graphic. I think 4 of the top 5 draft picks all came from the University of Michigan. There's Beniers, Johnson, Owen Power, and I can't remember the 4th. But yeah, so in that sense, and then like all these other sites, I was just I don't know if they're banking on like almost like the stock market with futures, like, well, this team's good, so they're going to get in there, like your Rangers. Like
Whoa.
They shouldn't be in the top 16. They're not even in the playoff hunt. And they won the last 2. They did beat Vegas last night 5-1, and they beat Columbus or St. Louis the game before. So they went 5-4-1. But they've been on the struggle bus. It's to the point to where Trouba got in a fight the other night and was skating off the ice, yelling at his own bench and chucking his helmet into the glass as he went down the runway. Like, wake the fuck up. Like, I don't know what it is. They lost a couple guys to free agency, but they still have a really good team. I don't know if it's the hangover for Shesterkin, where he played so much last year that he's tired. I don't know. I just don't get it. They should be a much better team than they are.
The Rangers are currently 13-10-5. Yeah.
Yeah, they're right behind Tampa Bay for the last spot.
They beat Vegas last night. I watched a little bit of that. They beat Vegas.
And I will say, like, on the flip side, some of the disappointments, I would say Florida would have to rank up there.
Absolutely. Yes.
After the deals they made in the offseason, getting Tkachuk and losing Wheeler and Huberdeau, I don't know. I don't know why they did that trade. I think both of those guys fit really well. They were moving in the right direction, and I think that this kind of disrupted their chemistry. But even like in the West, Colorado, they're right behind Minnesota as far as playoffs, but they're dealing with a ton of injuries. I think I saw where they had 9 people out.
Did McKinnon just get hurt?
McKinnon got hurt. And it's just not like, your third line center got hurt. They got a lot of guys. So they got McKinnon out, Lekkonen's out, Manson's out, Evan Rodriguez, Byram's out, Nichushkin's out, Darren Helm, and Gabriel Landeskog. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say 5 top players that they're really missing. But at the same time, they're still playing well.
Right.
And that would be one team I would think that is going to make the playoffs, even they're struggling right now.
So they're currently tied for what's that, 9th in the Western Conference? It looks like.
Yeah, they're back there like with Vancouver. They're 500, sitting at 27 points too, but they played 3 more games than Colorado has. And I don't know what's up with St. Louis. I watched them against the Penguins the other night, and we just absolutely destroyed Bennington to the point where he lost his noodle and started yelling at the bench when he got pulled. But yeah, and then they played the other night, and they played really well, and it's just like, all right, whatever. But like Chicago's going through a rebuild. Anaheim's got some good players. I don't understand how they only have 7 wins. San Jose, Arizona's back, usually where they are at the bottom.
7-17-3. Oh my God.
Columbus, I feel for Columbus because
last night they got. Me and you talked about that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You know how I can do.
Oh no, you're good. I was texting Kevin because I started. I was watching the game while I was playing Call of Duty, and I'm like, "Holy shit! It's 6-0 in the first period on 14 shots." Tage Thompson had 4 goals in the first period, and they weren't gimmies. He made a nice, he had 2 one-timers that he scored on, and then a couple of nice wrist shots. Like this kid could be scary good. Like he's the size of Lemieux. He's like 6'6". He's got good hands. He can skate, and he roofed 2 wrist shots, or one wrist shot, and one backhand. That like you could just turn clank right up under the bar, right where Mom keeps the peanut butter. Yeah, I mean it was unreal. And then go ahead.
No, I was saying I know I thought I sent you a meme this morning where they said Columbus has been regulated to the EHL because that's how awful they have been.
But I mean,
and 15.
they got Laune back. They got Goudreau. I mean, they just been getting bounced all week because we beat them, and then I think you guys beat them. The Rangers beat them, and then last night Buffalo beat them. But like this Buffalo team, if they can learn how to play defense and sacrifice a little bit of offense to play better in their own end and not give up so many odd man chances, this team is on the brink of being really good. Just with Dolan on defense, they got was it Rasmussen on defense? The kid that was playing Luukkonen, I think his name is.
Right.
Like it was like his 3rd straight start, and he played well. And then like with your forwards, they got Tucken from Vegas. They got Tage Thompson. They still got Jeff Skinner, the old Carolina Hurricane dude. But they're fast. They moved the puck well. It was just like I felt bad for Columbus. Like they just got bombshelled, and like it was 6-0. Like I said, on 14 shots. And, as soon as they brought in the backup goalie after I think it was goal 4 or 5, one of the two. Tate Thompson come down on a breakaway and rips a nice beauty of a backhand up in the top shelf too. So they had a hopefully they figure out how to play defense and block shots and learn how to win, play a little bit dirty or mucky. You don't have to make all these great plays. But that dude, I think he was 5th in goals going into last night, and he scored 5, and now I think he's like 2nd or 3rd.
So Dan, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So like in basketball, right? We talk about defense and how it's played, and some teams they have guys that may play one-on-one defense, and you got some teams that actually play team defense, even though they don't have like a great one-on-one defender per se. So in hockey, could you explain to our listeners how is defense taught? Is it more of a team thing, or is it guys that you like your defensemen or data anchors in most cases, or how does that work? Because the reason why I'm asking, I'm looking at Anaheim. You've only scored 69 goals and you gave up 114. That is a minus 35. That is incredible. But please explain.
Well, it's more of a structure. So depending on who your coach is and what their philosophy is, it's the structure of the way you play defense. So like there's more defensive teams where I'm trying to even think, like back in the day with New Jersey Devils, they would dump the puck in and then set up with one guy on the blue line, and then they'd have 2 at the red line, and then the defensemen were just behind them, and they basically played a trap.
The neutral zone trap. Remember that?
Yeah.
They got
so they would slow the game down so that it would force you to either make a bad pass or try to make a play you shouldn't make a play on up the middle or whatever, and then they would get the turnover and go the other way, or they would make you dump the puck. And then, of course, they had Brodeur back there, who was one of the better puck handling goalies, and he would just chuck that thing right out of the zone to the forward, and they'd go the other way. But it's more of like, the way the Penguins and a lot of teams are starting to play is you'll see now where the guy will have the puck on the one side of the boards and battling the guy, and he'll wrap it around the other side of the boards, and that actual defenseman will come down, to the face-off dot to try to keep the puck in, and then the high forward will go back and take his position, so they still have people back. to try to and eliminate the 3-on-1s, 2-on-1s, and that kind of thing. So it's really the structure of, okay, if my weak side defenseman pinches, high forward's got to take his spot. So it's like it's almost like I'm trying to think. I had this class in school in college, but it's a if then type thing. If this happens, then this will happen. This is what you need to do. Then it's that type of structure. So it's whether you want to play aggressive and pinch, or if you want to play more of a back position and force teams to beat you through the system, where you could try to get the turnovers. And some teams have a good system. Some teams like Anaheim, if I had to guess, Anaheim's probably got a lot of young players. Just, yeah. So, yeah, like you got Jason Magna, Sam Carrick, McTavish, Zegras. They're all like first, second, third year players. But they do have some veterans. I don't know. Maybe their system's not working. And the other thing too is how many penalties are you taking and giving up goals on the power play? But the other thing was Ovi. The thing that I heard or saw or read about was Ovechkin played Philadelphia the other night and they pulled the goaltender and he scored 2 empty net goals. Now, mind you, he's
two.
Wow. Yeah. So he's at 795. So he's 99 behind Mr. 99 for the all-time record. So if he could play like 2-3, probably 2 more years, he should be able to, if he keeps the current pace, he should be able to break that record. But a lot of people are like, oh, the empty net goals count. Yo, the Oilers in the 80s, that was a freaking all-star team. The guys that were on that team.
For sure. Gretzky, Führer, Messier.
Yeah, Curry.
That crew.
Grant Fuhrer in goal. Yeah, they were just like all the way up and down the lineup. They were so good. But, they didn't really get many empty net game, where they could put the puck in the empty net because they were already up 6-1.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see how long it takes him and if he can get to it. It's more, about age and injuries, as long as he can stay healthy and out, off the IR. He should be.
You talk about other athletes on this very show that are stat stuffing. What's the difference?
We don't talk about them no more.
Okay, my business.
Hey, shut up!
Hey,
but the equivalent of what Ovechkin's doing is like someone breaking the all-time scoring leader of the NBA.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh,
you'd be the number 1 scorer ever.
So
correct.
Let me ask this question real quick. I'm sorry, Kev. Let me ask this question.
You good.
In the hockey realm, how do they view Ovechkin? Is he one of the greats already? Is this something that he has to do in order for him to be put on whatever? Like, how is he viewed?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think his biggest hang-up is they couldn't get to the cup. They couldn't win the cup. And once he won the cup,
once he got it,
then it was like, yeah, he's got everything else. And that's kind of like, I don't know if it's not fair, but a lot of it is those that make it to the Hall are viewed as greats are the ones that have the cups. And it's like Ray Bourque, probably one of the best defensemen to play in the league. It took him 22 years, and he had to go to Colorado for 1 year to win it.
He got it.
Was he a Hall of Famer without it? Absolutely.
Right.
But it just that icing on the cake. You know what I mean?
Top floor.
That it makes it like, yeah, you can't debate it.
Gotcha.
But there's one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead, Dan.
And I told Kevin about this the other day. And usually I'm a happy-go-lucky person. and I don't really get on a lot of.
What grinds
Whatever,
Dan's
whatever, Dan,
gears.
whatever, Dan, whatever.
So here's my thing. So we have professional athletes in all sports, doesn't matter what the sport is, that tweet, interview, do whatever, and they may say something that people don't agree with, or that they probably shouldn't have said in the first place. So in turn, they get suspended and this, that, and the other. So it was Tampa and Boston, and it was the knucklehead that does the announcing for the Bruins. And as far as like homers and announcers that I can't listen to, I will turn the volume off if that's the only broadcast I get, because there's no way I'm listening to him, because he's a meathead. But he went on probably a minute and 10 rant during the game about Pat Maroon, and basically fat shaming him, saying, you know, his inadvertent fasting is him not eating a meal for 4 hours.
Wow.
And I'm sure he hasn't missed a pizza since.
Wow.
And, you know, and that has nothing to do with the game. And that's not something that should be said on national TV or broadcast, because there's probably a lot of people that have, you know, self-esteem issues or body image issues, and it shouldn't be said. And the one positive that I got out of it is yes, Maroon's he's a big dude, and he's really he's not the fastest guy, but somehow this dude is always in the right position, scoring big goals. But I love how he just took the high road. He basically ignored what Numbnuts said and just said, you know what, I'm going to donate money to like the Tampa Thrives nonprofit that deals with these kind of things. And then some of his teammates also donated money. And I think within the first little bit, they raised $50,000. So he's like, yeah, it's over, done with, we'll move on. But, you know, class act that they are in Tampa, they went the high road. But this guy,
If you don't know, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, I put it up on the screen. That would be Jack Edwards. Is that correct, Dan?
yes,
that would be this gentleman
There
right
you go.
here.
all I got to say is, if you want some entertainment, go to YouTube, pull up some Boston Bruins broadcast games of like a fight, and you understand what I'm saying. The guy, you know, if you were watching a game on the radio, you would think the Bruins guy was kicking the guy's ass. Meanwhile, he's eating rights after rights, getting his ass beat. Oh, he got a good right. No, he hit the helmet. He didn't even hit his face.
Dragged up and down the ice.
Yeah.
Man, Dan, thank you so much. That's our hockey dude, Dan, with the hockey, man, bringing it strong with the hockey. Appreciate you, brother. We got up next. We got the DA talking a little World Cup soccer.
Finally, the world's most populous watch sport. We come on 5. The World Cup. It's been a very good World Cup. I don't think too many surprises, other than I thought Japan, Croatia was a pretty good game. Didn't expect it to be that, but a friend of mine, you know, reminded me that, you know, that part of the world, there's some other things going on, so they might not have everybody they need. I didn't see Poland beating France, so that wasn't really a thing to me. Morocco getting Spain.
That was surprising.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with it's not necessarily what we'll call an off season, but the friendly season. I don't think that Spain took things as serious. And then at the same time, they have an aging team, right? So soccer, football is without a doubt. So if you guys, you know, we talk about old athletes and everything else, won't happen there. It is not at all an old man sport. Like, old in football is 33 years old. So you got to get your money early and bounce.
You see where was it Brazil? They benched what's his name, Ronaldo?
Yeah, he'll play again. It's okay. Yes.
Yeah, the dude that replaced him, Ramos, I think, had a hat trick.
Yeah, he had a goal. So again, Ramos is 22 years old.
Yeah.
23 years old. Like that's, and it's not that, and this is like, so football is a game where coaching really means a lot, whether people believe it or not, because when you're watching the matches, you'll see at a point in time some dudes with some hublot signs, which are the clocks, being held up, and you'll start to see a bunch of subs come in. They're not subs because they're bad. They're subs because they're old, and they'll come in and they'll give you a goal because they're that good in that few minutes. Or they'll set something up that quickly, that, you'll bring in a dude that's, maybe not 25, he may be 31, 32, but on the pitch, he knows what he's doing, he knows where to be, he knows how to set you up. Kevin knows we was watching one match, and I screamed because one team didn't do something, and had they did it, they would score the goal. It's just simple mathematics, right? So with that being said, I see going forward, real quick, that I would have Argentina beating the Netherlands because the Netherlands is a very young team. They have a cat that's definitely it's called the Golden Boot Award for the most goals in a World Cup. His name is Gakpo. He has 3 goals from the Netherlands, but I think he's out of here unless he does something like crazy. I see Brazil winning against Croatia. That's like the N1 team of football. The great one, I'm telling you, Saturday, 2 p.m., France against England. You have 2 of the top 10 scorers on each team. So for France, you have Mbappe, who is nice. Like,
that dude
he's
is
a young
nice.
guy, right?
Yes.
And then you have Giroud, who is like 31, 32. He's an old dude, right? And he's one of the lead scorers, I think, with 3 goals. And for England, you have Saka. He has 3 goals. And Rashford has 3 goals. Now, just the 2 big names, right? Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling are also on the England team. But the reality is that one of those guys will not be brought in until the end of the game when they can really help, or we need a goal, they need a goal for the team, and they have to get one. You want to put those experienced guys on the pitch because, it helps out. And then you have Morocco against Portugal. And like I said, Ramos is there. That's a young team too. Our boy, he's getting older, still looks good, pretty boy. But he is also he's a legend, and he's a sniper. Like, you cannot underestimate how good these guys are, right? Just to see an open situation like a great hitter, seeing that fastball and just cranking, it's there and they never miss it. So you need those guys in the game, but they just can't play a whole match, and if you're watching, it's like 90 minutes nonstop running. So with that being said, it looks like we're going to have a great weekend. We got some great guys in the Golden Boot Award. I think Mbappe at 5 goals now is a lot, man. So it's going to be hard to catch him.
He curled one the other day. I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, it's a different world, man, and we can talk about it, but it's a real different world the way these kids grow up playing soccer, learning soccer, and they become experts at a very young age. And Dan, I'm going to talk to FIFA about the blue line on the television screen, so we can get on all sides. Though it doesn't matter, and we'll have another talk about that. But that has a lot to do with the alignments for defense and offense within the game. Because there's 5 or 6 that most use, but there are a lot of variations into how to line up those 11 guys. So, and that's based upon the team's makeup and how they do things. Some are defensive teams. Some like to get the lead and hold on. Some are very aggressive teams. So, I guess that's the way where when he asked you, Dan, about hockey and defense, it's kind of the same thing as to the way your team plays, and the identity of your country is the way you kind of set up your lineup and the way you play defense. So whether you have 4 back defensemen, 3 in the midfield, and 3 up front or not, so But that's what it is, and congratulations to the teams that won. I'll be watching this weekend.
No doubt. That was DA with soccer, man. We got soccer, very good weekend for the World Cup. I'll be watching a little bit when I can. It's been a very good World Cup to me. The United States, they're not there yet, but Brazil is where it's at, man. So they're the favorites. So, with that said, we're going to move right along. We're going to move right along to D-Dub. D-Dub's up next. He's going to talk a little boxing. It's December. D-Dub, what we got as far on the boxing, man?
Yo, man, on the boxing tip, we got some, usually at the end of the year, towards the beginning of next year, usually some of these fights start to come about. But first off, man, I want to shout out to, and many of you guys don't know, the legendary referee Mills Lane has passed away at the age of 85. Has been a part of a lot of big fights, including Bernard Hopkins when he pushed Bernard Hopkins out the ring, and Bernard Hopkins ended up getting injured, but came back and refereed his last fight. He was part of the Mike Tyson, the bite fight with him and Evander Holyfield. Man, he was a part of a whole lot of a lot of fights on Oliver McCall when he suffered that nervous breakdown in the ring against Lennox Lewis. Man, the other one, Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield. When he fought Riddick Bowe fought Evander Holyfield in the fan, man. Remember the fan, that the guy with the parachuting into the ring and Riddick Bowe beat that ass? Yeah. Yo, man, this guy was he was a staple back in the 90s throughout that period, man. I want to call that's like attitude era. Mills Lane, man, he was every time you seen a fight, he was part of the one of the biggest fights. And they also remember they did the claymation of him during one of MTV celebrity death matches. They would do, and he would be part. So, shout out to Mills Lane, a legendary referee. But what we got going on? We got some good fights. You got I believe one of the Charlo twins is going to fight Tim Tszyu, which is he's the son of Costa Tszyu. I know DA remember Costa Tszyu and he fought Zab Judah. This is his son, and he will be fighting the Charlo twins earlier next year. Well, what we said next year, 2023 in January. So that's coming up. We also got what's my main man? Tyson Fury and Mr. Usyk. They're supposed to be getting it on here the first quarter of the year. So, look out for those fights. We also got Gervonta Tank Davis. He will be fighting. He's another one later on, I believe, in January as well. So we got some good fights coming up, guys. So, hey fans, if y'all looking,
fight, right? He got
Teofimo, yes, he's stepping into the ring as well. So, like I say, you usually get these fights early in the year, first quarter. Then some of them in the middle part of the year in July. So, we looking forward to a lot of good fights.
Nothing really in the last quarter, right? I can't remember the last time there was
fight. Last quarter you talk about November. You might something might sneak in, but not too many. Who else? My man, Bud Crawford, got him fighting, but he's not exactly. He's not fighting who we want. The fight that we want to have happen. His fight is coming up December 10th. We also Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, that might be coming soon. So we got some good fights. I was just saying, Tank Davis and Hector Garcia coming up in January. So Tank is saying he's not looking to fight too much longer. He said he's gonna get these guys out of here, gonna clean it up, and then he's gonna bounce. We'll see. We hear the boxers say that all the time, and then something just keeps on calling them back like big paydays. So we'll see. But that's about it. What I got on the boxing front, Kev.
Okay. That was D-Dub with boxing. We appreciate D-Dub coming through on the boxing tip. Next, we're gonna go to college football. College football. Uh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Georgia's number one. Michigan won their conference championship against my alma mater, Purdue. Michigan is number two. TCU, who lost. TCU, who lost to Kansas this past Saturday in their conference championship. The powers that be with the playoff format said TCU is still good. Nick Saban is a little upset about this because the Ohio State Buckeyes, they slip into the number 4 spot because they lost to Michigan early. So college football, those that are novice to college football, you got to remember, you lose early, it's not such a big deal. You lose late, it's a big deal. And USC,
Not this year.
well, only for
Not
USC. Well,
Because they can't. But the TCU lost late, and so did Ohio State. But it just goes to show you, man, we need to go back to the computers. Because as long as you let humans do it, there's going to be some cheating. There's going to be some TV money. There's going to be some which side of the country you got the biggest people watching the game at. You know, because when it was just, and everybody, be careful what you wish for, people. Right? Because everybody was oh, the BCS, they get the computers, and they don't know what they're looking at. Yeah, well, I know I looked at TCU lose. That's what I saw. And yeah, I know that the quarterback's a good guy. He can play. Listen, do what you want to do. It doesn't matter, really. Because you're still going to put in who you want to put in. So,
right.
You know, but I'm just going back as an older guy. Be careful what you wish for. You may have been better fixing the computer program than leaving it on a room full of people with no real set criteria as to why they do what they do, other than the RPI and the strength of schedule, and it means different things to different people every week. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. I got no more.
Eric, your take on the playoff bets?
I really don't have much to say, dog. Like, it's okay. This is what we got. Okay, I'm arguing. Or this one should have been. I don't do that no more, bro. I just want to see good games. That's it, man. Can you give me good games, please? That's all. TCU and Ohio State, man. Whatever, man. I don't see none of these teams. Maybe Michigan. Well, I don't know about beating Georgia, so it doesn't matter. But just make it. Just allow me to watch the whole game. At least that's all I'm saying.
The whole game, and not get off and go watch TV, play Madden.
Don't make me go get a cold one out the fridge in the second quarter. Come back and you already think. Nah, B. I don't know. And it can happen in any game. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dan, your thoughts on the college football's top ranking here?
Well, my thing is, looking at it, I kind of expected it was going to happen the way it happened. Because, I mean, really, TCU, what? They lost to Kansas State or Kansas in overtime in the championship.
Yes.
And then they played in a championship game. How many of these conferences don't have it? I don't know. So who else would you put in there? Who deserves to be in front of them?
Well,
Not Alabama. They lost twice.
No, that's not what St. Nick says. St. Nick said we should have been in there.
Nah,
Yeah, him and Deion need to go back and get some gap insurance.
Yeah, no, it's not them.
Because that's the only way they're getting in with 2 losses. And that's not, you can say TCU or whatever you want to say, but, you know, I'm going to defend the little school. Just like I did back with Boise State when they were getting screwed. And the same way was it UCF got screwed. You never know. You got to give them a chance. They played, 12-1, I think was there, and the strength of schedule was really good. And I just kind of think it's funny the way that they set it up to make sure that Ohio State doesn't play Michigan in the semis. So, yes, is there some selective hearing when it comes to these decisions? Absolutely. They want to make sure if they play in the championship game. But I don't care who's in it. Georgia's beating all of them.
For sure. D-Dub, we'll go to you real quick. What do you got?
Yo, you know I ain't got really much of nothing.
Ah,
Dan, to that point though, I'm not really mad at that. If we're gonna get a good championship game, I'm not mad at that. If they hold this team against this team, if it's like that, as long as we get a good championship game. But with that being said, TC who they made it. Ohio State is in. I'm with you. You know, we scream about these teams. Yeah, let these teams get in. Because exactly what you said, we can't let Bama got 2 losses, man. If this is anybody else, they wouldn't be in as well. So, I'm cool with it. Like I said, Georgia is the juggernaut, and they've been the juggernaut all year long. So, I don't expect nothing else different. Hopefully, if it's a Georgia Michigan, it should be a good game. But TCU surprises us and knocks off. They are playing Ohio State, right? That's correct.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Cool.
We'll see. We ain't got no choice.
We don't have no choice, man. We definitely not.
Let me ask you a question. When they open it up for the other teams to get in, 12 was it 12 supposed to be 12?
12.
How's that working?
That's next year, right?
Going to 12 next year or the year after?
The year after.
Next year.
6 games.
Yeah.
Oh,
So 6.
So I guess it's about player safety too in college.
Yeah. Again. Oh God, please don't give me. Go ahead.
No. Nope.
We don't have enough time.
my question is,
Go ahead.
My question is, will these games take all this space between the conference championship and bowl games? I mean, I gotta wait 5 years to get another to wait for a bowl game,
Yeah.
potato chip bowl, and all this other stuff.
That's
So
the
wait.
only good thing you'll get is that. Yes. They'll come in between.
Okay.
So in between the end of Thanksgiving, but also the conference championship is the first week in December. So we'll get all of that. Okay, it makes sense.
So wait, hold on. So let me just go back to the safety part of it. Are these teams along with the NFL
I'm sorry.
worried about CTE with all the
No, man. No.
Oh
man.
no, right?
Chill.
Oh,
What are you asking about?
chill. Oh, we didn't even get to the next episode.
Money.
Obviously, E,
What?
right?
Who's that?
We didn't get to
theme
what?
song. Who's that? Slick.
Well, they getting played the
Slick
NIL. What
wrestling,
the
that
hell
was
else
theme
y'all
song.
want?
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just
Y'all get
asking the
NIL.
questions,
What the
man.
hell else y'all want, man? All right, come on. Stop it.
Man,
How does that work? But Gary, it's a lot. I'm sorry. There's so many conversations to have.
it's
With
a
this.
lot going on this week. There's a lot. I'm afraid to step on this next one. I'm not afraid to, but we just got to get to something else. So let me go to the NFL before I try to go to that. The NFL week 14 has started. What's going on? The Thursday night game. The Las Vegas Raiders are leading the Super Bowl champs 10-3 in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. So down the stretch we go, as I heard a horse racing guy say it. I forgot his name, but I used to hear when I was. And down the stretch we go with NFL. We're only going to talk about the games that are of playoff importance. So with that said, I'll start off with the NFL. The New York Jets, they go up to Orchard Park to visit the 9-3 Buffalo Bills. The Jets had a game last week where I think they should have won. They had 200 more yards of offense than the Minnesota Vikings. The Jets receivers couldn't hold on to the ball. Mike White looked like he forgot how to play in the first half, and the Jets had to play catch up. But also the Jets' red zone offense was not good. So with that said, I'm rolling with Buffalo. Buffalo probably will be 10-3 after the game at 1 o'clock. I'll go to DA. DA, who you got in this game real quick, sir? Buffalo. D-Dub, who you got? $5.
$5,
You
bro.
send me $5.
I got
dog.
5 on it.
Yeah, you got 5 on it. $5, dog.
Yeah,
5.
y'all got me. Yeah, well, the
You
Jets
got
went up to Jets went and played Buffalo earlier this year and won that game. I think Buffalo will revenge that and knock them off at home. Buffalo wins.
okay. E, who you got this game?
Buffalo. I think
Oh,
they got
Buffalo.
all systems. Well, not all systems go, but yeah, Buffalo.
Dan, who you rocking with?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills.
Okay. We all going to take the Bills. We need to go back and see what our picks were. I think we might do that at the end of the year here. Next game of playoff importance. And I'm only saying this because the Bengals, it is playoff importance. They face they're 8-4. They face the 5-7 Cleveland Browns. I'll start off with E. Who you got in this game? Browns and Bengals. That game's in Cincinnati.
I'm gonna say Bengals. If this was still Jacoby Brissett's Cleveland Browns, I may lean the other way. Deshaun has a lot of rust to brush off, and I don't think it's going to get any better against Cincinnati. I think they're hungry, they're chopped. So I'm going Cincinnati on.
Gotcha. DA, who you got, sir?
I got to go with the upset, so I'll take Cleveland for my fantasy team.
Rocking with fantasy. D-Dell, who you got, sir?
Yo, Cincinnati's on they're on they're on a little hot streak right now. So yeah, they've been playing well. Knocked off Kansas City. They
Yep.
should do the same against this Cleveland Brown team. Cincinnati for the win.
Okay. Dan,
I got the Bungles.
in your division. Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
Bungles.
I'm like D-Dub. The Bengals have been playing better. We'll see. I got them winning. Let me go to the next game. Texans against Dallas. Nobody cares. Dallas should win that game.
Easy.
Minnesota is
Big 1
10-2.
o'clock
They
game,
go
though.
what? Houston and
Eagles
Dallas?
and Giants. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Eagles and Giants, bro. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we can
Okay.
get out of here.
More Giants fans. Let's go.
Yeah, we can get out
Oh,
of here.
Eagles will win that game, bro.
Where's the mugs? The hats? Where they at?
Not this
Hey,
week,
where's
man.
that?
Eagles is
Yeah, if you ain't
the
lined
Eagles
up-
are too much.
You looking like a midget.
Oh man,
No disrespect. No disrespect.
the Eagles. Yeah, I got the Eagles winning, man. The Giants don't have enough offense.
Wow.
They don't have enough offense. Just
Yeah,
saying, they
they
don't have
ain't-
enough offense.
Just
No,
keep
I'll
it
be
real,
shocked
man.
if they win. The Eagles are the
would
cream
be
of the
too.
crop. Eagles are the cream of the crop. They're the best, man. So, what did I say? Baltimore against Pittsburgh. Dan, who you got? Go with Dan. Your team.
I would like to say Steelers, but
They ain't got no quarterback. They got to win.
I can't go there. Nah, I think Huntley is a lot better than he was last year. And then if we can't score in the red zone, we just kicking field goals all night, we're gonna get beat.
D-Dub, who you got?
Yeah, Nolan Lamar. I don't believe he's coming back. I think he's out, right? Nolan Lamar. So I mean, yeah, I'm taking Pittsburgh at home at Acrisure Stadium.
You had to go there with Dan. Eric, go ahead, man. Who you got in this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. Think this is gonna be one of them old black and blue type of deals. I don't see Baltimore winning this one. Yeah, 13-10 Steelers.
DA, who you got, sir?
Najee Harris is my one of my running backs, so Steelers.
It's all about
Yeah.
fantasy for them, man.
He has went all analytical and whatchamacallit. Okay, since you playing that game, I'm gonna skip over this one game right here. Couple games. Tennessee should beat Jacksonville. Denver is going to lose to Kansas City. Seattle should beat Carolina in Seattle. Lo and behold, Tampa Bay goes to Santa Clara to see the 49ers. Let me put the spotlight on. Who's gonna lose? Go ahead, DA. Who you got?
Well, Tampa Bay is going to get wrecked. Sorry. The dude's old.
Did you see what in GOAT we trusted on Monday?
He won't even be there in the fourth quarter.
Oh,
He'll be done by then. He'll be sitting 6 times. He'll be sitting down.
He put a bounty on the man.
No. They just don't have an offensive line. We keep getting defensive linemen back, man. We keep getting them back, man. They can't get open. He throws the ball in 2.3 seconds. They can't get open in 2.3 seconds. And Joey Bosa hits home in 2.3 seconds. So, I like Tom Brady a lot.
To give a testimonial, I had a couple of the Dolphin fans tell me this past week. They was like, man, we didn't have a chance to throw the ball. I said, yeah. The Niners D was on your man. He never had a chance to throw the ball. It's really serious, man. I'm since I'm in here talking, I'm taking the Niners. Niners should win this game. Niners defense going to shine again. DA said Brock Purdy, he's a system quarterback.
Yes,
hey, we just need you to manage the game, get the ball to McCaffrey. Hey, throw 20 to 25 times during the game. Hopefully we'll take it home to the house. Let our defense help us out too.
We're going to try.
Dan, who you got? Niners.
Oh, Niners all the way. I don't. With their defense, there's no way. They struggled. Tampa struggled against the Saints. No, not happening.
Yeah. D-Dub, who you got there, sir?
Yo, you know the Niners. Niners at home, Santa Clara. Yeah, they should take care of Tampa. That was a good little come from behind win by Tampa Bay on Monday night. But I don't see that happening again on Sunday. San Francisco too good.
E, who you got there, sir?
Yeah, I just want to say that I told you people that when the Niners get healthy, they will be one of the scariest teams in the league. And
you did say that,
I was right. So, look, defense is all systems go. They can run the ball. I don't care if it's pretty, beautiful. It doesn't matter who they got in that quarterback slot, man. I got the Niners, man. Brady and them gonna look real old on offense this Sunday.
Yep. Let me go to this last game here on the tilt here. Let me put myself here. The Miami Dolphins, aforementioned Dolphins, they're still on the West Coast. They travel to SoFi Stadium to face D-Dub's secondary team, the LA Chargers. Miami's 8-4. The Chargers are 6-6. D-Dub, I'm gonna start off with you, man. Must win game for the Chargers. They're 6-6. There's talks about their coach. They're gonna change the coach. Peyton gonna get the job. Jason Garrett's he's for the job.
I told you, man. And Staley's out of there, bro. They lose this game to Miami. If I think they are gonna lose to Miami.
Yeah.
I think Miami will win this game. But yeah, I told you earlier, man. The reports were that my man was what's my man's name? New Orleans coach Sean Payton was in the running for that, and it's probably gonna come true. And he's waiting. He's just that job is his, and I don't care if Los Angeles goes on a hell of a run down the stretch. It's still his job. So I thought Los Angeles was going to be a lot better than what they're showing. They're very mediocre, and it is what it is. Miami gets the win.
Got you. I'm picking Miami too. Miami should come around. I think San Diego, the offense, man. Herbert's doing what he can, man, but
yeah,
the offense. I don't think they have enough to beat on the Dolphins here tonight. And that game got flexed. Thank God that game got flexed. NFL is doing better with flexing games and making interesting games. I wish they just get rid of the Thursday night games and we'll be all good.
Yeah, well, you know, money.
Yeah, money. Yeah, we know.
Money.
Yeah, play it
Yeah.
safe.
Baker's already playing for the Rams.
Baker's playing for the Rams. I mean, I got the game. I didn't see it. Is he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's
What
been
he
there
looking like?
He's been there 2 days. Here you go.
Okay.
Here's the keys.
Dan, who you got in this game?
Miami. I don't know what it is with the Chargers besides their coach not being very good at making decisions.
Coaching.
That there's no reason they should be as bad as they are, but
Yeah, it's awful.
it is what it is.
There's a
And
reason.
until they figure it out, or change some personnel, in the building, I don't think it's gonna be a very good season for them the rest of the way. So yeah, Miami should beat them easily.
Another coach. What's my name? A man in Denver. This looks like it might be one and done for him. The
Hackett.
Broncos are
Again?
god-awful.
Again.
They got
Yeah.
no owner this
Says
time,
the
so
Giants
they can't
fan.
put it on. Yeah, right. They got
Yeah,
no
I
owner.
mean, well, we went through our.
I heard that, Dan.
Wow.
You got me, Dan. That was a good one. You got me.
They just low key trolled us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Giants. That's. You're right. We've had a bunch of coaches the last 10 years. You ain't lie.
That Spider-Man meme.
Yes.
Pointing at each other.
Yeah.
Dan got us. I think who's that said something in our little private chat here? Yeah, D-Dub. Minnesota will get caught out there and lose to the Detroit. That game is in Detroit. I don't know. The Lions are
been
playing
playing well.
hard.
But I don't think that's going to happen. Lions play hard, but I don't think they're better than Minnesota.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Now
they're
without
better. They
injuries.
just might just get caught out there.
Depends.
Well,
on
Minnesota has
Cousins
not been
that
playing
get
really
that
well. They
You know,
haven't
man,
been playing
listen,
well
I don't take
in the
it
last,
back,
other than Thanksgiving when they came back and not even came back, but they played a good game Thanksgiving. But you know,
I
Minnesota's
I,
games have been kind of suspect here lately.
hey, listen, you win the games you win. Whether you win them by 40, you win them by 20, you win them by 2, you won. You just got to take it and move forward, man. That's where I look at football.
Oh, well, without a doubt.
You know, so
But,
I'll just go like I
you know,
think they're a better team. Than
Division,
You know, I think
same
they're a
division.
better
They'll
team,
they'll play them.
and they
We'll
need
see.
it. So Minnesota also needs to stay where they're at to get that bye. You know,
What's
to
their
stay
what are they? 10-2.
10-2.
10-2. Oh, we'll see.
We had a comment from V Lack. He says the Lions might go out to Lamar next. I guess he's talking about free agency. They're talking about free agency. Yeah, I mean, got the opportunity.
Inside too. Yeah.
So anything's possible.
That's
Or
interesting. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's interesting to take. I don't know. I don't know if Baltimore is going to pay him. We have talked about that several times. We don't know. So, but hey guys, interesting show. Not interesting show. Very great show as always. Always fired up, man. With that said, we're gonna go to our parting shots. We're gonna get out of here in our 90 minutes. I'll start with the angry one. Angry one, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? Great show as always here on our Thursday slot. You know what I'm saying? First of all, appreciate Dan with the hockey knowledge.
That's
Brother DA with the football and D-Dub with the budget, you guys, man. Mike Miller, we miss you on the next go around. Thanks to everybody that's participated in the chat. Thank y'all for watching. It's short and sweet. Y'all know how I do, man. Love conquers all, except for I guess here on planet Earth. Yeah. Vote with your dollars. Vote with your dollars, and the integrity of the Shield is a fucking. If you know, you know.
We didn't even get a chance to. There was a couple tacos we had.
Shots fired at.
Couple topics we had to leave on the table because we would be here for another 2 hours, and we just don't have the dinners to be here for 2 hours. I'll go with Dan, not Dan Snyder, but Dan, our hockey dudes. For those that say, "Oh, they got Dan Snyder on," no, not hockey dude. Dan.
Yeah, Dan Snyder's why we got these matchups on Thursday night. That's the way of punishing us for Congress reviewing them. These games are absolutely horrible. But hey, great show. And shout out to Mike Mills. Sorry you couldn't be here, but we'll be back on Monday. Hope everybody has a good evening. Stay safe. Be good.
Appreciate that, Dan. D-Dog, what you got, sir?
Oh, not too much anything. Nothing heavy. Everybody have a good weekend. Yeah, we didn't get a chance to get into the dip our toe into this NFL Daniel Snyder thing, which is a whole nother, like you said, that's probably about another 15, 20 minutes to talk about that. But everybody have a good weekend. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see y'all next on 4th and Short.
According to Mike Mills, it wasn't 4th and Short, it was 4th and A/F. Y'all between the lines. Mike Mills, wherever you at on the boat,
4th and long.
Yeah, 4th and long. Yeah. DA, what you got? Look, you filling out your fantasy.
Yeah, everybody, thank you for
The
coming.
bookie.
And have a good night. And hey, take care of yourselves. That's all. It's all good, man. And no matter how you look at it, I only ask you to just look at it. That's all. Please.
Interesting take. Thank you, DA. Appreciate that. I don't have anything heavy. Appreciate those that have tuned in on whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, our Facebook page, my Facebook page. Don't have Twitch hooked up tonight, but we'll take care of that. Twitter, wherever you're watching out, thank you. If you really want to get us at the comments, like I said, I don't have the ability to do the live comments on Facebook. Restream is supposed to be fixing that. But to get at us at live comments, you got to holler at us on YouTube, and we absolutely will try to answer. We're not at the point where we got messages chiming in like that. But
what's up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast.
Sorry about that.
Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin. What's up, everybody? Hello, podcast brothers. Dorian, the D.A. Alberton. James, the Angry One Warren. Mike Mills. And Darrell, D-Dub Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
I'll figure it out.
This is a sports podcast with no hot takes, no narratives, just real unadulterated sports talk. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel. Sports Chasers Podcast. We can be found on all podcast platforms, plus all social media platforms by searching Sports Chasers Podcast. All information is in our bio. Please be advised, at times there may be some explicit and colorful language.
Please be advised.
The fingers of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin!
Yeah.
Good night.
That's us.
hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast.
how we got
It's,
Hey, man, I'm going to bed,
4th
Kev.
and Short.
Love you, man.
Y'all take it easy. Good
NFL
night.
week 12. A lot going on this past
I
week.
can't
with the
find where
NFL
that's
in
coming
week
from.
12 from Thanksgiving.